All right, so I thought we might start with what's your why for competing in HYROX? Why do you do it?
So at first it was like I had to find a new sporting experience for me because I wasn't having have fun anymore with triathlon. And then it was like just yeah it wasn't it wasn't my plan to go into HYROX because I met Sebastian Kienle on Fuerteventura, and he told me that he goes into HYROX and he did a race and he will prepare for the next one. And I had a bad time in triathlon, so he asked me to join a session of him, and then we worked out together. And yeah, that's the starting point of HYROX. And then it was like for me, it was a absolutely new opportunity to enjoy a new progress and get into the sport. And I couldn't like throw wall balls, and that was like for me, yeah, a new starting point. And now I would say it's like more. So now I'm like 6 months into it, and it's getting more to inspire people to do sports and be active. And I think that's in our community or in our life at the moment, it's a problem that people are not doing a lot of sports. And I think we as athletes have to inspire other people to yeah do sport, live healthy, and enjoy the life to the fullest. And sport is like a really emotional roller coaster, and you learn so much from it. And I think yeah, that's now why I do this.
Okay, all right, awesome. You touched on like triathlon being in your past. Can you tell us a little bit about your sporting background, where you've come from, what you were doing before HYROX?
Yeah, so in my early days, I haven't been an active guy. I was really lazy, just tried different games like football, handball, a little bit of basketball, and ice hockey as well. But I didn't want to move often, so I didn't went often to training and had a really unhealthy lifestyle. And then at the age of 16, I was like really going into parties, and every weekend I did like 2 night sessions, as I call it. And yeah, enjoyed that a lot. And then it went like to a point where I destroyed myself and had to get out of that. And that's why I doing sports, and started with lifting in the gym and a little bit of running. And I was also like a little overweighted at that time. And then I started to lose weight, and then I went into sports. Yeah, and as my family, my cousin is he was a really good cross country skier, and I think there's a little bit in the family, so we have a little bit of talent in sports. And yeah, I was really good in my early days, and then I went into triathlon and gave it a go just for fun. It was like the first few years was just for fun, and you improve so much by just staying consistent in the work you do. And then I got pretty good and could be and there was a point where my coach said to me, "Hey, come on, let's go get this pro license and do professional." And that's I did like the last 5 years. I did professional triathlon. Um, Never was like a real professional, so I had to work at every point of my career. But competed against the best of the best. And yeah, that was really fun for 5 years. And then I stopped having fun with it because it was so much pressure on myself to like I have to get a good result and to earn some money to show the people that it's not just fun, it's like real, it's a job that I'm doing. And then I went through some yeah bad times, and had also like a little bit of, maybe we can talk about that later. And then if I stopped having fun with triathlon, I always said, if I stop having fun with it, I'll be done with it. And that was the point where I said, oh, okay, come on, let's see what I can do else. And that how I got into HYROX. Just yeah, not planned everything.
Okay, all right, amazing. You said like you kind of started doing sports when you were around 16. Did you find that very quickly you were like naturally good at it?
And no, I started like in 20 when I was 21. I did
Oh,
partying with 16, and then to
oh,
21,
oh,
and then
right.
I started. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
And how
no, it
old
was
are you
like,
now?
sorry,
How old are you now?
I'm 32. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, no, in the first run, I can totally remember that. It was so hard for me to run 30 minutes straight because I was gasping air, and I thought I couldn't move for 3 days straight afterwards. But then it got like really, really fast. I got better, and that was for me like, okay, maybe you have some talent for that. And yeah, that was the point.
Okay. I was going to ask you, you touched on like the professional side of things and like you still had to work. Do you like, do you feel like the pressure that you had to try and earn money doing the sport that you sort of loved, has that put you off wanting to be professional? Like if you had the opportunity to become professional in HYROX, would you like not want that to happen because it adds pressure to the sport, or is that something you'd still like to go down?
And back in the days, it was like for me, it was just one option. I want to be the professional triathlete, nothing else. I don't care about social life, everything else. I don't care about that. But now it's like I could imagine to be a professional HYROXer, because at the moment it's like it's so much fun for me, and it's that's what I think it's the important part of being a professional. You have to have fun with it. It's not that everything is easy and you don't have to work hard. That's not the point. But you have to have fun with it, and then you will be good at it. And I think if I would have had longer fun with triathlon and do things different, I could have been better in triathlon as well. But now I think, yeah, if I would go to qualify for the Elite 15, never know, and will be a professional HYROXer, yeah, I'm absolutely in for that.
Yeah. Okay. You talked about like the end of your triathlon, you stopped having fun with it, and you had some issues. And I know you've done like a bit of a post on Instagram about that. Can you tell us some more about that?
Yeah, sure. As a triathlete, I always thought that the more is better. So I trained as much as I can, as much as my day had hours. And then I start to, oh, maybe if I am lighter, I can be faster. I can run faster, or I can cycle faster uphill and stuff like that. And so I had a eating disorder for a long time, and always was like, if I want to eat something, I had to earn that. So if I'm not training, I don't want to eat anything. And this was like a really big problem, because I got injured a lot, because my body hadn't enough fuel. Also to remember, if you want to put power output, you need to have calories in your system. Otherwise, you burn yourself down. And that was what I did every day. And yeah, so that was the problem. I had this disorder, and it was like the reason why I do sports at this time was like just to not get fat. And yeah, my old coach back then told me why you should do sports, and it's not because you have to look good in the mirror or at the beach or something like that, because you want to perform well. And if you want to perform well, you have to eat well. So, and that was the case. And then I start having um, talks to a psychotherapist. And yeah, it was for me, it was like, oh my God, I go there, and hopefully nobody sees me that I go there. And it was like a little bit of, yeah, I was anxious about that. And now I would say, if you have problems like me, you have to talk to people. That's really important. You have to talk to someone, and you need help, and you will find help. And yeah, you need to get out of that. And I'm very happy about that, because I did the step to talk to someone, and then it helped me a lot. And it took like 6 months or something to get out of it. And nowadays it's sometimes like it comes a little bit back, and then I know, okay, mentally how I now have to react to things. And yeah, that helped me a lot. And so I get out of it, and now I'm happy again. And yeah, couldn't be happier.
Good, good. Did it result in like you under eating, under fueling, overworking? Did that result in a like an incident or anything like that, or like were you fatigued? Were you ill at any point in time, or was it just something that sort of crept up?
Yeah. I got a lot of injuries. Got some like bone bruise, especially in the hips and in the middle foot, and it always comes down to not having enough nutrition in my body.
Mhm.
And that's why I also got sick a few times. Just your immune system is shutting down. and all of your body is shutting down. So you don't want to get out of the bed. And the worst case in that part is you have to go out of bed because you want to eat something, but before you eat something, you have to work out. So you have to go out of the bed, and it was always like the circle, and yeah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I imagine it's very common in something like triathlon, but it is, I speak to a lot of people on nutrition calls and so on in HYROX, and there is for a lot of people that concern about putting on too much weight with the amount of running. And even you've seen it at some of the top level, like where they're talking about losing weight, but it's not really played out, I don't think, in terms of performances. Like Hunter wanted to lose weight and it didn't necessarily benefit him.
Yeah.
So I think it's like an important message, like you telling this sort of story that, it's not the solution to better performance than you have to eat. I think that's an important thing, even in our sport.
And also as an example, it's like I did a lot of VO2 max testing, threshold testing and stuff in the past days and in the years and stuff, and while I'm doing triathlon. And now I did a test, I think it was 6 weeks ago, and I gained around 4.5 kgs, like 10 pounds. And now I got the highest VO2 max ever, also relative to my body weight. So it was like not just that the VO2 max rise, it was also like the relative VO2 max got higher. So it shows that you don't have to be the leanest boy on the planet to be very fast. You have to be powerful as well. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to tell people you need calories, you need some muscle mass to be fast on run course. Also like the HYROX run. Now I got my fastest run on the HYROX area or on the circle compared to 5 months ago where I was like 4.5 kgs lighter. So yeah.
Wow. And I dare say the sleds move easier, the ergs are better. Like, sure. Yeah. All right. So we're talking shortly after your performance in Stuttgart, which was the second fastest men's open time ever, which was amazing. Did you think that you had that time in you before the race?
I thought I could run sub 53. And that one was like the last simulation I did felt like really good. And I did the simulation with pro weights, but not at the fast time. But like you can like adapt it to opens, and I felt really good. So leading into that, and yeah, I think I had that in the tank. But on the other hand, it's like always on race day you have to perform, so you never know. And I was really happy about that performance. And yeah, second fastest time ever doesn't sounds like a bad thing. So yeah, we will keep improving on that.
Yeah, nice. Did you like, with the intention to put in a fast time, did you start out very fast and very hard, like maybe harder than you otherwise would?
Well, I thought I could. In my last race, it was always like I had to go from the gun because my running is my weapon, and then I just went out like really hard to also make the race really hard for myself, to be prepared for what's coming next. And yeah, then I went hard and had to I had to like slow down a little bit until the row erg, because I don't want to like overdo it. And it felt good at that time. And sometimes afterwards you think, oh, maybe I could have gone a little bit faster. But yeah, you never know. So I went out fast, that's for sure. And I did what the race was just by myself all the time. I hadn't had any competitors, which is like not good for yourself to push it, but it's also like you can play it safe. So yeah, I went hard if that answer the question.
Okay, yeah. What I think is it a 3-minute PB for you? 4-minute PB?
Yeah, it was like 3-minute PB. Yeah.
Okay. What's have you made any changes to your training in that time since your previous best time that has led to such an impressive like improvement?
No, well, I have to mention that I started with HYROX in February. So I improved day by day just to go to the gym three times a week. And yeah, that's the easy part now, because I think I'm getting stronger day by day. And I didn't change anything to that. Just now my focus is on gaining strength, like pure strength and power. and then yeah, just build it into HYROX, into the stations. And I didn't change the training leading into Karlsruhe, which was the last one.
Hmm.
But yeah, now it's completely different into compared to my triathlon background. And yeah, so the training was leading into the last race, and this race was very similar.
Okay, okay, and it's just been like, or like the consistency of the specific training that's sort of led to
Yeah,
continuous
you
improvements. Yeah,
know, if you stay consistent and you have the progress, it's always like that. Because we're
yeah,
not on the edge on like my time is not the edge of HYROX, so there are a lot faster people, so we are not at the end of the
hmm,
cake. And yeah, so I think just by doing stuff consistency, you will improve again and again.
yeah, yeah. I've heard you talk about consistency and post about consistency a little bit, and like I completely agree. Does that mean that you are on the side of caution sometimes, like with regard to injuries? Are you not necessarily putting yourself into the red zone, for example, very often in training? Are you like trying to stand the lactate threshold or anything like that to minimize injuries?
Yeah, I try to especially in running, I try to not go over my threshold or that often, because it's some speeds it's like really pounding on the muscles and also on the bones and stuff. And so I do a lot of testing and training, and just to stay like right below or just a little bit above threshold, not to have too harder sessions. And then I will do it like on ski erg and row erg and stuff like that. Because there the impact on the body is not that huge, so you can do a lot of volume also via 2 max stuff on the ergs, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not that taxing to the body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you? You said about testing. Is that like are you blood testing? Are you going into the lab every week? Are you doing it yourself? Anything like that?
No, I do it all by myself. I do lab test. I do blood testing with lactate, and then I use muscle oxygen from Train Red. You know, the small sensors. And then sometimes I do like VO2 max testing with a device at home, and it's always I got my own lab, so to say. And yeah,
Okay.
just some friends of mine are testing stuff as well. And but it's just for me, for myself, because I'm really interested in all the process of the body. And yeah, that's why I test myself so
Okay.
often. And it's really easy to, because if I do a threshold session on the treadmill, you just have to get 2 blood samples, and you know exactly in which zone you are, and that's like really handy to have.
Yeah. So you're doing that. Are you doing that like every session or fairly
No,
regularly, or is it?
no, I would say I do it once a week. So yeah, around that, once to twice a week. Not that often, because it's also expensive. Yeah, you have to just
Yeah.
also like the strips are not that cheap. So yeah, you have to be smart with using them.
Yeah. Yeah. A few minutes ago, you mentioned going to the gym 3 times a week. Is that all you're doing?
Oh, that's like the strength training I'm doing. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Right.
three
Right.
times a week. Yeah. And just I'm doing like I would say 20 hours of training a week.
Okay. Okay. So the rest, like the outside of the gym stuff, is still running. It's erg work. Is
Yeah, and I do a lot
that's
do cycling as well, because it's also good for the body. It's not that taxing. You can do a lot of volume in that. And I enjoy. I live in the mountains, and then you have a good time out there on the bike. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
okay. I noticed that one of the stations that you've improved on a lot is your wall balls, especially like compared to Koru and so on. Have you been working on those? Is that again just consistency and training, or you got any special tips that have led to the improvements?
Yeah, for wall balls, like do wall balls is the best tip I can give, or the best advice. And I do wall balls with 12 kgs now, just to have like yeah, it's more power, and then it felt easier to get to 6 or 9 kgs. So and do wall balls. Today I did a session. It was like 10 times 40 wall balls with 10 kgs, and also between 2 minutes of running. So it was always like running wall balls, and you have to do it over and over again. And at some point, will be easy. So as I started, I couldn't move the 6 kg wall ball for 10 times. I had to stop after 9. And but it was without any compromising before that. And then I could do in Stuttgart, I could do 100 unbroken on the 6 kg. It was like the improvement was huge if you compare it to where I started.
Hmm.
So and that's yeah, I did a lot of wall balls, and I will do in the future as well.
Okay. So did you just say 10 times 40 wall balls? So you've done 400 wall balls in a session with like 2 minute run in between each round, yeah?
Yes, yes, that's true.
Okay, nice. Um, you won the mixed doubles at the World Championships. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Are
thanks.
there any like special tactics that you use for that race and like yeah, any tips from a mixed doubles perspective?
I don't want to tell any of them, but no, it's the very important part is to have a fast partner. It's like if you're mixed doubles and you have a really fast runner as a girl, you will be really good for that. So especially if you're a good single athlete in the open category, I think if you have a really fast woman, you can do really well. And yeah, my girlfriend Jenny, which was my partner there, where we won the World Championships, she's a really, really, really good runner, especially also in the elite field. And yeah, that was my benefit there to have her on my side. And yeah, we executed that really well, really well. And that's my tip to search for a fast woman.
Okay. um, uh, in terms of like the pro division, and you sort of touched on earlier, like maybe you can make the elite 15. Like your best pro time at the moment is I think just over an hour, and
Yeah, it's
then like
101. Yeah.
101, 109. So is it the strength side that you're working on a lot that you feel you need to work on to like put yourself into that elite 15 position? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think I'm in endurance wise or like in running, I don't think there's a lot of people who can run faster than me, also with the compromise stuff. But at the moment, it's like I'm lacking in power and strength. It's almost like the sleds are so heavy for me, or hopefully not now. But they were, and also the wall balls and stuff. So that's what I try to improve. And I think that takes some time. I don't know if it takes like another 2 months or it's like 2 years. I don't know. But I think that it takes yeah, a bit of time, and then I think I have a good shot at it.
Okay. Okay. Um, what are your like running times if we talk about like your best 5K or 10K or half marathon? Where
Yeah,
are
so
you at for those?
my half marathon PB is a 67:40. So it's like 3 minutes and 12 seconds per K. And I just did I did a 10K on the treadmill, but I don't know if that wasn't my treadmill is really good. It's from HB Cosmos, it's a really good brand. But I'm not 100% sure if that's right, but I did 29:56 there.
Wow.
And if I would see it a really bad thing, then I think I can do sub 31 as at the moment now, as that's for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's what I can do.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely puts you at the you know, if we compare that against the elite 15 runners, that's really like the best time that we'd see in those in that field. So where is your uh like strength and erg numbers? Do you know where like your deadlift or squat might be, for example?
Oh, I deadlift like on reps like 125.
Okay.
Yeah, in kgs. It was
Hmm.
like I think I did 6 reps or something like that. Yeah, and I did I just do like not normal squats. I do often do box squats. You know that you not go
Hmm.
that deep, and then I could do 150 on that. And yeah, that was my PB there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Strong. Still strong. Yeah.
yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How about your like? Do you know what your 2K ski or 2K row is?
No, I just know what I did in the races, and yeah, I could average like 143 in the ski arc and average 145 on the row. So yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
the also the arcs are not a problem for me because it's like pure endurance if you ask me. Also like the burpees are like very very endurance based stuff, so that's not a problem. Maybe if you want to go really really hard, you have to get a little bit more power, especially on the ski erg. If you go into the elite 15 and see the racing, it's like very very hard from the beginning on, and so I think I have to improve that a little bit, but not like I have to gain another 10 seconds per 500. It's like 5 seconds
Yeah.
and then you're in. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm good at that.
Okay, awesome. If we talk about your running training, like can you tell us like high level what that looks like, and then also is it vastly different to what you were doing in triathlon, or is it broadly similar?
The running is very similar. Now I do uh, I run 5 times a week, just to get 2 days off where I don't run. Um, but I do like I can talk you just quickly to the week. I do like on Tuesday I do threshold running sessions, mostly like 10 by 3 minutes, something like that, to get half an hour of threshold work in. And in the evening I always do like another threshold session, just a double threshold Norwegian method to yeah, but I do it on ergs and stuff like that. Then I do an
Mhm.
easy running on Wednesday, and then I do yeah, Thursday is off, and then I do Friday with some higher intensity VO2 max session, and then on Saturday we often do like compromised running, also with intensity, and on Sunday I do a long run. And yeah, long run is for me like 90 minutes, not longer, because I find it really, really hard to, if I run longer, I have to recover so much more, or I have to take so much more recovery time to get into training again. So yeah, 90 minutes is, I don't think you need more for that.
Mhm. What sort of mileage would you run in a week, or
Well,
kilometers?
the last 6 weeks I did 100K.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
but that's like a huge amount for me, especially. Back in the days I did 80 was the most I did. And now with the strength training, I'm feeling like more stable and not not so I don't get injured so fast. So that's why I can grab a little do a little bit more mileage than before. But I think I don't have to go over 100. It's like 80 is around. I think it's a sweet spot for me, and that's enough. Because it's
Okay.
not that I have to improve on the running that much. So
No, no. What's your are you what's your mix between like treadmill and going out on the roads, or the track? Are you doing a bit of both? Are you doing a lot on the treadmill?
I do a lot of on the treadmill, but I try to go always with the easy runs and the longer runs. I try to go outdoors.
Hmm.
But if I look outdoors and it's like in my place, it's like 6 degrees and rain. I love to stay on the treadmill. So yeah, and I also, as I mentioned before, I do like threshold sessions. It's for me, it's really easy to do it on treadmill because you have to the fixed pace, and then you just go as fast as the treadmill tells you to go. And yeah, so I would say I do 2 sessions on the treadmill, and the other one I will go outdoors.
Yeah. Did you find that moving from triathlon, and I know there's a compromised element in triathlon, but presumably it's greater in HYROX. Like, was the compromise running tough for you at first when you moved into HYROX?
I think at my first pro race, it was really, really hard because the texting is different than cycling before running. Um, I think the pure soreness of the muscle is a lot higher in HYROX. So it's like your muscles are like a little bit fatigued after the cycling and triathlon, but the big problem there is your carbohydrate deficit. So you have not enough energy in the body to run, and it feels completely different to have like 10 lactate in the body or in the legs. And yeah, that's a different feeling, but I think I'm not bad at it because I did it for 11 years, but it feels a little bit different, but you know how to handle that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, one of the main reasons I asked the question is we see like good runners come in, and I feel like some cope with that compromised running better than others, and it seems like you're coping with it very well, whereas some other runners that are maybe close to being as good as you don't put in anything like your sort of run times during a HYROX. So I wondered if it was something you'd had to work on a lot, or whether it sort of naturally came from triathlon to an extent.
Yeah, no, I think it's also like a training thing. So the more often you do compromise stuff, you will be better at it. And now it's like, as I mentioned before, I could now run the fastest running time and also be better at the stations. And that shows me that you also improve on that. It's not just pure running speed more, it's just also the compromise stuff. You're getting better.
Yeah. Do you do anything for recovery in particular? Like, are you using ice baths, compression boots, anything like that?
Um, to be honest, I try to sleep as much as I can. I think that's the best recovery. And also my girlfriend is laughing about that because I say to her, "Oh no, we have to go to bed. We have to get in at least 8 hours of sleep." And that's what I try to focus on, to get enough sleep in, do a little bit of stretching, especially if you do different movements like wall balls and so you have to be a little bit flexible to go deep enough and stuff like that. But that's like 5 to 10 minutes in the evening. And other than that, I try to sleep really, really good. And yeah, that's what I do.
How about any tech? Are you like using a Whoop or tracking your heart rate or anything like that? Or...
Oh, I tried everything, and it was always like it's distracts me from my training. So in the morning, I had the Aura ring, and I always like looking at the data and see, oh shit, it says you having a bad day, and then your mind is like, oh shit, the ring says you have a bad day, so you will have a bad day. And then I say, okay, I don't look into the data and just watch it in the evening. That makes no sense because then you just don't need the data, and that's why now I don't use anything. I also run often just by feel and not using heart rate. And yeah, now that's I just use my feel, my body, and all what I learned the last 11 years to my benefits.
Yeah. Uh, if we talk about like the mindset side of things, like during a race, during a HYROX, when things are getting tough, where does your mind go?
Uh, there's a good example on the wall balls in Stuttgart. I was thinking of, oh my God, that's 100 wall balls. And if you go into the station and think that's 100 wall balls, that's a lot of stuff. So 100 is a lot. And then I try to like break it down. 10 for mommy, 10 for daddy. And then you go into that. And that's, you have to like play games with your mind all the time. And what's the most important part is what I try to do is always stay positive. If something went wrong or the judge is like, oh, if you step up on the burpee and your foot is not exactly parallel, which they are now really looking into it, as in my case, it was like that. You have to be calm and stay positive and think, yeah, you can't do anything about it. Just try to be as safe as possible and go through it. And also, like if it's not that easy on the ski erg or something, it's get hard. Just try to stay positive, and that's always what I say. If I run around the course and it's very hard, I try, okay, let's look into the next corner and then it will be better again. And you can play that for a long time if you
Mm-hmm.
always do it like that.
Yeah. It's come up a few times on this podcast. Like some people call it chunking or like segmenting the race. Is kind of just like just focus on the next station or the next minute or whatever it is. Like be where you are as opposed to like you said, 100 wall balls or the whole race ahead of you. Um, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Is it? Does that? Has that always been your mindset through triathlon, or do you find like you need to think differently in HYROX to what you used to have to during a longer race like a triathlon?
No, no, in triathlon was I wasn't have any thoughts like that. I was always in the end it was for me it was always bad thinking. Oh my God, why am I doing this? Uh what am I doing here? And stuff like that. And always like I have to perform now because there are people who watching and sponsors who waiting for good results and stuff like that. And that's what I learned from triathlon, also talking to the psychologist. It's like you have to find your way to get through things. And yeah, that's what's really, really different into triathlon, was in triathlon. And now in HYROX, I think I have like a really new mindset. It's like I feel like another person. If I look back, I can't compare to myself now. So yeah, try you have to find your way to deal and cope with things. And now I think I have to have a lot of tools to get through a HYROX race.
Yeah. Um, there's a few questions we like to finish up on now. So one of them was what's your best sporting experience ever?
Okay, now I would say it's the World Championships mixed doubles as we cross the finish line. And Yeah, it's super special to win with your girlfriend a race and then you're world champion together. So I
Yeah,
think that was for sure the best sporting experience.
awesome. How about your toughest sporting experience?
Oh, the toughest was just one day before, where I led the single race, going into the WBalls, and had like 20 seconds lead on the other guys, and go into the WBalls and had their like after three, I had to drop the ball the first time, and then I was in the WBalls for over 8 minutes, and I thought I won't finish. They will shut down the lights, and I will still be there and try to throw the balls up there. And that was like so hard for me. I don't know if I ever experienced that. Yeah, that was so tough.
Wow, I don't think I realised that. Was that heat? Like I know a lot of people suffered with the heat in Nice. Was that? Do you feel like that played a big part in that?
Yeah, I felt really dizzy from the beginning on the wall balls, and then I couldn't like see the ball anymore, and it was all like really wet, and there was no chalk next to me, and then yeah, my mind got completely crazy, and yeah, that's why I think some elite guys just dropped out on the wall balls there because it was too hot, and yeah, it was a really tough experience, especially in the heat.
Has that? Are you like with hindsight and going forward? Would you change anything about like how you went into that race? Do you feel like you were underhydrated? You hadn't trained enough in the heat, anything like that, or was it just a one-off bad situation?
In the heat, I think I would wear a heart rate monitor and just have a little bit into a look in that because it sometimes feels different than it really is. And especially if I went out, if I came out, I at this time I came out of the lunges in second, and then I got really hard running to go into the wall balls in first. And so I think I overdid that and was a little bit too hard going into the wall balls, and that what killed me.
Okay,
So next time I would do it like a little bit conservative and not go too hard on that.
okay. Uh, what's the best piece of advice that someone's given you or you've discovered while training for HYROX?
That's a good one. It's from Toby Loudwine. I think you know him. And he
Mhm.
told me, Fabian, you have to be patient. Just be patient, and then it will pay off in the end. Be patient, have fun with that, and then yeah, and that's what I would also suggest to other people. Be patient. Yeah, that's not a bad of idea.
Toby's the master at that in a race.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then the last one, if you could plant one idea or piece of advice in the mind of everyone listening, and it can be anything, what would it be?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, stay positive. It's really important, and you have to be happy with what you're doing, because otherwise you won't ending up having fun with it. So be happy, find what makes you happy, and then stick to it.
Awesome. What's your plans for the season? Are you like, is it? Are you focused on the singles? Or you going to do some more mixed doubles? Are you going for the elite 15 doubles at all? What's your plans there?
So there are a lot of plans at the moment. I try to. The first plan is to improve, just to improve, get better, and then I will try to get my pro times down. And if I have a shot to get into Elite 15, I will do that. I will race Amsterdam next week, so we see how that will go, and then at the pro single there. And yeah, there are some other plans to like get into the worlds with Jenny as well, mixed doubles, and also talk to a friend of mine to do pro doubles elite. Yeah, just we'll see how it went. And but for me, the focus is improving in the singles, and then we will see what is suitable to get into the time slots as well and have like a good progression over the year.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, thank you for this. It's been brilliant. Great to talk to you. It'd be exciting to see what you can do for the rest of the season and what you can do in the pro division and the doubles. Um, where should people go to follow you, find out more about you?
Greg, thanks. It's like I think it's best on Instagram. Fabi Eisenlauer is my name there, and yeah, you can follow me along. I will share a lot of training insights and also some data if people are interested in that. I'm a little bit nerdy sometimes, but I think it's not bad to know.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything else I should have asked or you want to talk about?
No, just would say that's an honor to be here and talk to you, and can't wait to see you in real life again.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.